Young Justice issue 10 is next.
Oh yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis writing with Nick Darrington and John Timms on the art.
Man, you got Nick Darrington on that as well.
Yeah. Darrington is doing the Ginny Hex stuff,
Yeah,
right?
flashbacks. Yeah.
And
because we see her in the flashbacks, we see her get the trunk from her mother. We also see that on the same, in one day she catches her girlfriend cheating on her, from the looks of it, and then she also happens to walk into a robbery in a bowling alley and like beats all the bad guys.
Who she knows from high school.
So if I have one complaint about this issue, it's that this backstory just felt a little bit convoluted. That all this happened in the same day.
So I'm not huge on Jonah Hex. However, I have seen the horrible movie.
Of course you have.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Jonah Hex. There's a lot of fun to be had with the Old West character. So when we got to what was in the trunk, I was a little bit let down. Like, is it cool? Yes. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. However, if they wanted to have a Tales from the Old West book and show how Jonah Hex acquired all these materials, I will read the shit out of it. Just so it makes sense.
Yeah, I want to mention the cover actually, because the cover has Naomi on it and says "Breakout star Naomi joins the team." That is the last page where they run into her. Like this is the next issue's cover. It should be.
Yeah, yeah. Because Naomi, I was waiting for her to show up throughout all of this, and she shows up on the very last page.
Yeah, because they're still in Earth 3. They're fighting the evil, Young Justice team, and the fight takes place, and Jenny and Teen Lantern, who's actually the one I'm forgetting, they're fighting on their own. They think they've been abandoned by the rest of the team. Jenny, when she opens her trunk, whatever she pulls out makes her increase in size, like Giant Man style.
Yep.
So she's not have powers, but she's effectively going to have powers in the sense that she's going to have some of these doohickeys are going to let her do stuff. So that's interesting. I did enjoy the backstory for the most part. I thought the art gave it a nice grounded feel to it. It felt like a nice small town story.
Yeah.
And it takes up a lot of the page count as well, so it's a good half the book is these flashbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, and the stuff with her mom being sick, like you can just tell, with the way that she's drawn. They never, Bendis never comes out and tells you exactly what she's sick with, but you can just tell that she's sick. And so when you get to the end where she's, calling out for her mom, it feels that much more tragic.
Yep.
And
I thought all the stuff though where she actually uses the items and she goes big and it's a big 2-page spread and she's like punching things, she's reaching out to grab people. There's that great full page spread of like all the team like standing because this is after the because the worst page in the book, even though it's drawn quite well, is when the cavalry shows up and Drake's in his new outfit with Bart and Cassie and Stephanie Brown from This Earth. Batwoman, yes, and it's all ruined because he's in this stupid brown UPS outfit.
A big old bat symbol on the front too, on his belt.
On his belt. I was gonna say where? Is it on his belt?
Yeah, it's on his belt. Real quick though, before that, you get Jenny. Jenny has ingrained herself to me now. When she tries to run over Luther L with the truck, and then Connor comes in and is like. Points for Spirit Jenny, but against him, I don't like the math, and he, moves him out of the way. So it shows the cut of her jib that she was gonna run this, half Kryptonian down. So and then we get to all this other stuff, but yeah,
there's a lot of fighting,
a whole lot of fun. And then they find out that the Ultraman here was obsessed with Earth 1, and which, real quick too, in Justice League, we see that Earth 3, in that when the Doom symbol goes up over it.
Yes.
And they talk about now it's starting to become more of our thing, which is, again, this is why I see people that say you care about continuity too much. Because now you're causing yourself problems.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. This doesn't line up with what we're seeing in Young Justice. This is...
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, is this before? Is this after? Like, when, with Naomi showing up, that seems to be what's going on with Leviathan. So, like, all the Bendis stuff lines up. But I feel like the Snyder stuff's taking place another time. But also, with all the different Doom symbols that we saw in all the other books weeks ago, it's not lining up. And again, this is more of a me problem than a DC problem. But if I'm saying it's a problem, it must be a problem.
Well, that was the other thing. Justice League, like Aquaman and Mira referenced like issue 49, and I'm like, but Aquaman came back in Justice League just 2 issues ago, but he's also meant to have done all the stuff in the solo book since he came back as well in this time. That doesn't line up at all.
No. And so
they've actually they've made it more convoluted by referencing it. Like if they just pretended this was like before or after, it'd be fine. But I don't know.
That's the stuff in Young Justice I do enjoy because it sets up that Ultraman was obsessed with the Earth Zero or Earth One, whatever we're calling it, and that he had a map to the multiverse, and so that's how they end up going home. But Batgirl basically, shows her crying as they leave.
You mean Batwoman?
Or Batwoman,
Steph. Yeah, I mean, they just arrive in Oregon, and Naomi's there, and they're like, "Hey, who are you?" And that's the end of the issue. So no, it was a solid issue. I think Young Justice has been a very enjoyable book. It's not been as good as Action Comics or as like Event Leviathan, but it's always very pleasant to read, even if we do have to put up Drake with Tim in that stupid outfit.
Yeah, but so it's like this: if now that we have Jenny Hex as this character and she's this layered, as we find out here, she wasn't sure what was in the trunk, but it is her birthright, and whatever. I'm okay with having to deal with Drake because now we have Jenny. He's still Tim to me. I'm not calling him Drake.
I think Jenny and Teen Lantern have both been introduced well enough that they're growing on me, and like it's doing solid things. It's not necessarily the blow away book that maybe we want it to be yet. That's not to say that it can't become that.
But I have Teen Lantern, I have Jenny, and now I have Connor back, and I have Bart back. So I'm okay, and Cassie. So this is my Teen Titans. Like, we're good.
Yeah. No, it's solid. It's a solid book. With good art, which I think we mentioned the Darrington
art's
stuff.
Really good.
But the Tim stuff in the Earth 3 fighting is also very, very great. It's very cartoony in its style. Coloring's very bold. It fits the tone of the book very, very well. So yeah, that is what it is. But at the same time, it's also not like unskippable reading material either, right? Like you could easily wait for the trades on this and not feel like you're missing too much continuity wise.
Yeah, definitely not. But it is a book I look forward to when it comes out. Like when I got my pull list, because I didn't keep track because I wasn't on the show last week of what books I was getting this week. So when I got to my pull list and it was in there, I was like, oh yeah, I have Young Justice to read, and I got very excited. So
yeah. Are we giving it?
I might be enjoying this too much, but I'm gonna give it a 9.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'll give it an 8.